I've been waiting for months to draw Japan, and now I finally get to. And it might be one of my favorite maps to date. Now, normally for my videos I write the story for the world that I'm creating and drawing, but for this one I'm not really creating the world, so I wanted to go with some Japanese lore, so to say. Quick disclaimer, what I'm retelling is by no means accurate, and I apologize if I pronounce some of the names, but I tried my best. Now, for my take on the 47 Ronin. Over 300 years ago, Japan was a dangerous landscape of politics and was ruled over by the shogunate, the military government that oversaw the many daimyos. One such region, the Ako domain, was headed by a man named Asano Naganori. Naganori was young, inexperienced and unfamiliar with the complex rules and politics of the shogunate court, yet in 1701, Asano was summoned to Edo, modern-day Tokyo, to receive and entertain envoys from the imperial court in Kyoto. It was a great honor for Asano, but it was a great honor fraught with many dangers due to the strict and intricate nature of court ceremonies. But Asano had help. The master of ceremonies in Edo, the Koke, was tasked with informing and guiding Asano on the proper ceremonies. Asano was grateful for the Koke's help, growing confident in his ability to entertain the envoys. Except the Koke, Kira Yoshinaka, was a double-edged sword. Throughout Edo, he was known to expect bribes and gifts in exchange for his services, and especially expected one from the young Naganori. Yet one did not come. Yoshinaka became furious and began slandering the name of Asano Naganori throughout Edo Castle. Publicly, Kira questioned Naganori's honor and competence, and the courtiers began to talk behind Asano's back. Asano put up with it as long as he could, but soon, after just a few days, had had enough. In the midst of Edo court, as Kira and Asano were arguing, the young daimyo drew his sword and attacked the Koke. The nearby samurai jumped into immediate action, coming to the defense of Kari and arresting Asano to be taken off to the shogunate authorities. Surrounded by guards, Asano stood before the shogunate authorities. The men glared at Asano as they listened to the account of the attack. Seppuku began to flutter among the authorities. The leader nodded. "You are ordered by the imperial court to commit seppuku." His voice was grave and stern. A ring of samurai formed around Asano, and he was presented a sword. Oishi Kuranosuke was once one of Asano Naganori's samurai. By the code of Bushido, he was still, but had renounced that title 2 years ago. At least, that's what many thought. Only 46 other samurai knew the truth. 2 years ago, shortly after the seppuku of their master, the now Ronin had sworn vengeance on Kari Yoshinaka. The code of Bushido, the samurai code of honor, dictated that the samurai were to remain loyal to their lord even beyond his death, and Kuranosuke and his fellow Ronin made sure that would happen. 2 years of secrecy and planning went by, the Ronin gathering arms, armor, and insight into the mansion of Yoshinaka. It was a dark night on December the 14th, 1702, when the Ronin assembled at Kira's mansion. Kuranosuke led one group to the front of the house and the gate, while his son Oishi Chikara led the other to the back. Attacking the guards out of the first gate, Kuranosuke entered the courtyard of Yoshinaka's mansion. Together, father and son secured the perimeter of the house. Then, using ladders to scale the walls, they entered the mansion. Kuranosuke and his Ronin moved methodically through the building, wiping out Kira's retainers. Focused and disciplined, keeping Kira at the front of their mind, the Ronin searched the entire house without finding Yoshinaka. No room they left unsearched. Finally, the Ronin found Kira hiding and trembling in a courtyard shed. Kuranosuke moved forward, sword in hand, in the dimly lit shed. A few Ronin held torches that flickered and cast horrid shadows on Kira's face. Kuranosuke glared at the dishonorable man as he sat shaking on the ground. "We meet at last, Kira Yoshinaka." The Ronin spoke coldly. No reply came. The Ronin watched the trembling, weak-hearted man, who they thought responsible for the death of their late master. "We will let you die honorably, Kira Yoshinaka, and commit seppuku." The man continued to tremble. Finally, his fate had caught up with him. He did not comply. "Behead him," said Kuranosuke. Kuranosuke and the Ronin left the mansion with the head of its master in a bucket. Proudly, they marched through the streets of Edo, announcing to all their vengeance over Yoshinaka. The Ronin made their way to the temple of Sengakuji, where they presented the severed head to the grave of Asano, honoring their fallen lord. Promptly, the Ronin, together, turned themselves in to the shogunate. Months passed as the shogunate decided what to do with the Ronin. The people favored the Ronin, saying they were the perfect examples of honor and loyalty, but the law said they must be put to death. The shogunate decided on a compromise: seppuku in place of a common execution. On February 4, 1703, the Ronin simultaneously performed seppuku and were together buried at Sengaku-ji, the very resting place of their master.